Very good morning, ladies and gents. I'm at Elmley, yes, off to Elmley again. Oh, haven't been out proper bird watching since getting back from Jamaica. I've done a lot of stuff at Crossness. I'm just going to throw over the buzzard that's on the pole over there, just while I waffle on. I didn't sleep very well last night. Oh my gosh. I was so excited to come out. I knew I was coming here today. There was talk of golden plovers, ospreys, black red starts. And because I hadn't been out since Jamaica, I've just had a backlog of things to do. I'm just overly excited, and I knew it. I woke up at 7. I tried to get back to sleep for half an hour. And I just knew it. I thought, okay, look, this isn't going to work. If I'm going to lose the day. So get up, take a pillow, take your earplugs and your eye mask, and you can sleep in the back of the cab halfway through the day. You'll have the same amount of time. So I'm going to do that. But I pulled into the south side of the bridge as per usual, looking for any birds coming down for a drink, and red-legged partridge. I've never seen them in that area, just south of the bridge over to Sheppey. They were running around on the they caught my eye. I saw them flying in the distance. I have not. That's one thing I haven't got a photo of yet, or footage, is flying partridge. I've got the pheasant flying in photos. I'd love some pictures, definitely. Or some slow-mo. Oh, the buzzard's just taken off. Going over to is it going over to the second pole? Yes, it is. Yeah, I'd love to get down there and film it, but I'd have to park here and walk, and then it'd see me coming. But it's been great so far. There's some small birds. I could hear the chaffinch, but a goldfinch landed at the top here. Everything, I've checked the weather. It's going to be very grey today. Everything's going to be kind of backlit. There's going to be high ISO in the photos. There's probably going to be a lot of filming. The wind is very low, as you can see in the video. I've been using my 3-way gear tripod head to get on the birds quickly, and my nice steady tripod. And there's a little bit of wind. It feels like about 5 or 6 miles per hour, which my tripod can handle. As you can see, it's pretty steady. A robin jumped out. I'm going to clean it up as best I can. I don't know if it should be able to pick up a bit of it singing. It was singing quite loud. But every time something big goes by on the motorway, it's a directional mic. It might do it. You'll hear some of it, I'm sure. I'll see if I can clean it up using Audacity, which I'm going to make a vlog about. Audacity is a great free audio program for removing background noise from your videos. It's brilliant, because this Rode mic I've got on here is a bit sensitive, which is good because it picks up distant audio, records it pretty well. Couple of little flock of starling. That's what's making all the noise at the moment. It looks like juvenile. They've disappeared all of a sudden. They were on the wire over there. I just saw a stoat being chased by a rabbit. I couldn't get it. It was too quick, and I thought it was going to grab the rabbit, but the rabbit chased it, and it ran across the road. But there was a rabbit. Sorry, no footage. Forget it. I couldn't get it. But there is a rabbit in there with the eye problem, the conjunct. There's a mix. Is it myxomatosis? I've said this before. Sorry, getting distracted here. Yeah, is it myxomatosis or something? I can't remember the name. I'll put it underneath. But that'll probably be the natural cycle of things. When animals get sick, then they get taken out by predators, and things get cleaned up that way. But this stoat hasn't re-emerged. I was hoping for a little bit of video. Okay, fair enough. It's out there though. But that's a buzzard over there, and I can see another raptor up there. Now I assume you've seen my vlog I just did on trying out manual with auto ISO. And I said, I'm sold, I'm going to start using it. I'm not going to start using it all the time, because the last couple of days I've been doing a bit of filming down at Crossness, and it can't cover all, especially when it's a whiteout background or the bird is backlit. It just doesn't handle that. A lot of people might have various spot metering settings and all that kind of stuff. maybe better cameras can handle it, but my camera just seemingly can't. I'm still having to compensate. Like in this weather at the moment, I've gone back to fully manual, and yeah, it just can't handle the auto ISO. For what I'm finding is with auto ISO, you do need some semi-decent light for it to work properly. Anyway, that's a great start to the morning. Nothing unusual, just good footage, a good start. And I'm just waiting for the tiredness to kick in, and I have to hit the back of the cab for a sleep. Wow, insane numbers of grey-leg geese, just flocks and flocks of them. I was out on the road, I saw these flocks coming in, hundreds strong, and I thought they might be the black brants. I've seen them popping up on the socials at Cecil to their usual spot. I thought this might be them, but I've zoomed in on them and I've heard the call, and they are lighter, and they're obviously the grey-leg geese. You can see a couple of leucistic or maybe even escaped domestic geese. I don't know if they're usually escapees, or farms close down, whatever, and they go out and they join their brethren. Or cages get open, they get let out, the ones that can fly, because they can obviously fly. And back on the path, saw some shovelers. I think the males are coming out of eclipse. I've said this, I'm going to have to do a video to understand what the eclipse is fully. It's where the males, for a period, lose their bright plumage and look more like the females. And I think they can't fly. So they don't want to be very noticeable to predators with bright feathers. So while they can't fly, they have to look like the females. So that's why they do it. That's why they shed those bright feathers. But I've got to do a whole vlog on that. I got a little bit more footage of a robin back there. I'll just throw that on top. But as you can see now, we're in the reserve. We're keeping an eye out. The flocks are going over. There's nothing along the path there, just some either crows or rooks at the moment. But so far, so good. Nothing on the chats. That was something small. I'm just going to hang here and see what that was. A sort of brownish, what they call an LBJ, a little brown job just flew over there. Might be something interesting. First little bit of marsh harrier action. Couple of marsh harriers. One being chased by a crow or rook. I couldn't quite tell in the viewfinder which one it is. So I'm going to have to check it out on the computer. I assume it's crow. But yeah, there was points where the marsh harrier was above the crow, just looking down on it. They were flying level, and then suddenly the crow would just up, and they would have a little scuffle in midair. Not great for flight shots. I'm just filming with the intention of slowing it down 50%. If something gets very close, I'll switch to photos. But for now, yep, marsh. No, it's a buzzard. So we're really clocking up buzzards, marsh harriers, and kestrels. And I'm keeping an eye on the socials for the Osprey down at the Swale. The Osprey action in UK in general, because I've been looking on all my socials, because I do the bird news updates, and there's so many Ospreys being spotted. It's been really good recently. Yeah, they've been, maybe in 5 or 10 years they'll be as ordinary as buzzards. Who knows? Playing a bit of cat and mouse with some Stonechats out here. Yeah, there are definitely a few pairs on the main drag here. Yeah, there's a couple. There's probably about 4 here and 2 further down. I've got a bit of video, but until I haven't got it released yet, have I posted it? No, I've got some footage from Cross Ness where I'm just filling the frame on a tripod with them. It's not going to look anywhere near as good as that. This will just be handheld stuff because I can't get out of the cab on the main road here. So it's just a bit of record stuff. But ever hopeful for some wind chat or something. I was going to go up to the main car park, but I think we'll give the road another pass, because I just want to double check I haven't missed anything. There is a lot of action. It's just getting it. Kestrels, marsh harriers, buzzards. Yeah, there's a female right there. Not really in filming position, but they're out here. They're out here. We're going to go look for the black red starts later on. Heading down for another circuit. Just had the kestrel. It wasn't quite filling the frame, but it was in slow-mo and sort of okay lighting. It's went down for a kill, but missed. I checked, it did take off and land on a tree, and I didn't see it sort of ducking its head down, so it obviously missed whatever it was after. And apart from that, I did see some birds coming off from the distance, and I knew they were going to be swans, so I had a few seconds to get my slow-mo exposed for the slightly brighter conditions here. And you can hear them coming a mile away. They sound like big sheets being flapped in the wind. And I got, I think it was 5 or 6 there. But nothing on the socials yet. So nothing about the red starts, nothing and no little owls. Yeah, I would have got a little notification if something's going on. But everything's dry out here. So no waders. So I'm up at the Swale view screen. I don't know, these screens are not made for people like me, about 6 foot. I've either got to sort of spread my legs open to get down there, or I've got a tippy toe up here. It's never the right, it's always the wrong height. It's either for sort of 5'6" people or 6'3". But the golden plover aren't over there yet, on the other side of the pond. Just loads of mallards. We got loads of lapwing coming over, but there was a flock of birds over there. I filmed them. It's a bit hazy, a bit distant, but they strike me as the flock of golden plover. And they'll probably go round and round, and once the tide comes back in, they'll go over there. That's what I think. I think those are golden plover. There's nothing worth filming here. I've put it mostly for record purposes. There's some common shelduck down there. There are some common shelduck down there. And what else? Some lapwing. So no lapwing out the front. It's all on the other side of the motorway, the east-western side, and over here on the Swale. Big flocks. There was a big flock over on the other side of the Swale, probably several hundred meters away. And then when there were a few flying down here, I saw smaller birds in between them. I thought, right, they've got to be what? Sanderling, Dunlin. And yeah, I got my camera on them. It's just clear enough, just that you can see they're Dunlin. There could be a couple of other things in there. There's no way I can tell. Curlew, sandpiper. I'm not saying there are, but who knows from this distance. But those are out there. And then I saw a single grey plover. Very, very, the heat hazy, as you can see, very heat hazy. And then there's dozens of curlew, and I don't know if there are any whimbrel in there. First of all, it's very heat hazy, like I said. And from this distance, there's no way I can tell the beak size, and I have to, and through the view screen, a viewfinder as well. It's got to be, maybe I have a slightly better idea on the computer at home, but anyway, it's not really that important. It's all the usual stuff, the usual suspects. I just got using the dot sight, 3 male pheasants flew over, and you know what? Even when I can catch a bird in flight without the dot sight, I actually find I can still track it better with the dot sight. I somehow lose it when I'm moving with the bird in the viewfinder. So I don't even look through the viewfinder a lot of the time now. I just point the dot to the green dot and just follow the bird. And literally every single one of these pictures was sharp, just nailed it. The background was far away, it's probably why. And I just went through and found the one with this golden wings pointed down. Beautiful. I'm gonna have to crop I want to crop it kind of 3x2, but I have to remember the tail is very, very long. So it's going to look more anamorphic, 16x9 this crop. Stunning bird. If they were rare birds, we'd be after them, be like, have you seen that stunning pheasant? Oh my gosh, if there was only like 10 in the country, or it was like once every 10 years you saw one, you'd be, they are stunning birds. You have to take a snap. Just that little touch in there, a Chetty's warbler. I didn't know it made this sound. I'll let you just quickly hear it. Yeah, it was coming up on the Merlin app and it popped out. I thought, what's it going to be, a wren or a robin or something, the alarm call? It was a Chetty's. I seriously, I didn't know, apart from the really high-pitched kind of territorial warning call it makes that sound. Awesome. Apologies, because you can see it reads. It was like in sunlight, in shadow. camera, autofocusing, manual focusing, switching back and forth. I was amazed to get as much footage as I did, and probably good 20-30 seconds worth until it flew over that side. Really happy with that. But what made me stop was that small bird with a kind of maybe bronzish reddish underside flew from there to there, smaller than a robin. And my mind kind of thought maybe water pipit, like the first summer, or the summer plumage one that I got last year as a lifer. I think it was last year. Yeah, I think so. And I looked up on Merlin, it did say water pipit, it said waterfowl. And earlier in the car park, I had a little laugh about it. I don't know if did I mention it? Hawfinch, you know, could be. But I had a little laugh about it. There's that call the Chetties makes. And then it showed up long-eared owl. Long-eared owls are here. So it's not like, oh yeah, what are the chances? It could very well be here. So what noise does a short-eared owl make loud enough that it can be picked up by the Merlin app? Look at this. I'm going through here. All of these birds, firecrest, skylark, I've either seen them or heard them, or they should be here. The brant, they should be here as well. So it goes to show there are things going on. I just need to keep my ears open and my eyes on the sky, because even though it is relatively quiet, I am finding stuff, little bits and pieces. Yeah, it's good fun so far. Right, this is the third time I've said I'm down by the swale, because everything starts happening as soon as I start recording. Kestrel landed on that tree and I missed it. Meadow pipit flew past me and I missed it. A sandwich tern flew past and I missed it. Typical. Anyway, the big news is not that look, I'll show you the footage. It's awful. It's just, there is a Osprey as they said it would be. It's on the post. It was last year. A bird has stopped me by the little owl, the little owl schoolhouse. No little owl. And he said, what do you think? Look through the scope. Looked. And I went, that's got to be. There's nothing else it can be with that colouring. And it was going down like that, and obviously tearing flesh from a fish. You couldn't see any of that. All blurry and heat hazy, as you can see. This is what I'm dealing with, a lot of wind. I mean, that's like half a mile away. Good, half a mile away. But no, Osprey for the day. You don't get to see that very often in the UK, or being in its rough presence, approximate presence. But we came down here, and my dot sight absolutely nailed this meadow pipit going up, wings tucked in like a bullet. I wouldn't have got it otherwise. And there are pings going off everywhere, but I can't see any of these reedlings. They're there. Well, but you know, whatever. I've got them on another day. You just know some days when you're just not going to get good footage of something. And a couple of snipe on the scrape there. I mean, just record purposes. There won't be anything like I've got a well marsh in the past. It's just basically on days like this, you're just trying to bulk it up. I've got a sandwich tern. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you might have seen that. There we go. It just dived. It's got a, see, look, I'm filming. That's the first time something like that's happened in the half an hour I've been here. There you go. But there's loads of turnstone down there, grey plover, red shank, a couple of little egret, godwits. And over there, there's some goldfinch. I don't think I've taken much footage except the photos of the meadow pipit and the osprey. But it's just bulking up. Like I said, on a quiet day like this, you're just taking what you can. The kestrel's on that tree over there. I had a nice shot of it. I just turn you around. So hopefully the wind won't be too bad. I had a nice shot of it. What I thought coming into the tree, the bigger tree there. And I was standing here. And what I didn't know, because I was using the dot sight, was my camera was focusing on this little bush at the front. Totally missed it. Would have been a nice shot because it kept its wings up as it kind of hovered down. I was just saying, I met another bird. I've seen a lot of his work, and I put a name to a face, and we were talking about it, and I was saying, yeah, it's more of an art than a science. You got to, when you do it, you've got to like remember it's a bigger bird, so zoom back. Smaller birds zoom out, pre-focus, and make sure there's nothing else in between, because you're not seeing what you're taking a photo of. You've got to remember what the camera's pointing at, not what you're seeing. What a racket. Anyway, let's, I'm hoping the birds from over there take off and fly past in flocks in a moment. So I'll give it another half an hour and see if that happens. But a lot of these goldfinch and meadow pipit flying back, I might be able to dot sight them and get some flight shots. Wish me luck. Yep, that's us done. It's dead, it's completely dead now. There's no way anything else is happening. It's 4 o'clock. It's late. opening for friends, 6:30, but I'm running on fumes after just 4 hours sleep. And I've been here for as long as I planned to be here. Not the same hours, but the number of hours. And I've eked what I've got. I've eked out as much as I could. I've seen things, you know, plenty of, you know, I didn't see the gold crest, but I heard them. I got the, what did I get? I've forgotten. I'm half asleep here. There's been skylark and oyster catchers, chatties, warblers, possible golden plovers, bits, and there's enough to make a little vlog to, you know, for considering how quiet it is here. I looked at bird guides today and almost nothing is going on in Kent except the usual couple of nice little spots at Dungeness, but that is a trek. But I'm glad you come along for the journey, and I've tried to make something out of it as best I can. I doubt we're going to see anything between here and the gate. There's been no little owl, only the long-eared owl showing up on bird guides, Merlin, on the Merlin app. No shorties, no barneys. Apparently they said no barneys have had chicks this year. Bad year. All the pools are dry. But I mean, it's good for England in general because they had a big influx of birds in Scilly, Shetland and Ireland, all these American vagrants coming over. Excellent. So I hope that gave them a good show. We didn't get anything here in Kent. Anyway, but we're nearly at the front, the main gate, and I'll see you in the next vlog.